enter into worship, we're going to leave with worship. So right now, cast everything aside, all your situations, your burdens, your problems, and give Jesus the...
Hi guys, how are you? I didn't realize it would be this dark, but how are you guys? I hope you're well. I have come here to charge. It's so unfortunate that I live with people who know how to push boundaries, and you know how the last person can decide not to fuel the car, so to speak. So anyway, I'm up this early because I usually drop my son, or somebody else does, at 4:30. That's when he starts working, because he is part-time, so he works the hours that will fit in with his other activities, especially school. Yesterday was a holiday. It was Veterans Day. So there was a lot of commotion in the house because of cleaning and stuff, but I actually wanted to do a live last evening, but I decided not to, and just to come to you this day. I was up by 3 in the morning, and so that is actually the whole point of this video, and that is to say that that has been happening lately. And it is just following a season where I was saying, you know, that I'm blessed with sleep. I was sleeping, like even able to sleep in for longer periods than I used to. And I consider this a blessing because there's a time I never used to sleep well at all, okay? And even when I tried, I couldn't, because you know how sometimes you can be so, like, you can have so many things going on in your mind, not that you can pinpoint, like you can't say that this is what I'm thinking about, or this is what I'm stressed about, and you know, this is what is causing me not to sleep. But you find like there's just this intrusive thoughts, lots of intrusive thoughts, fear, okay? I recognize fear to be one of the major things. And even when you tell yourself that I don't fear anymore, or I don't care anymore, you find that still fear engulfs you, which means it's no longer anything that you can decide with your mind to not entertain. It is a spirit, it has taken abode in your dwelling, in your mind, okay? And the devil really loves to battle us, and the only way to get over that is to recognize that first, you've not been given a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, a spirit of love, and a sound mind. And that is very important. The devil wants to convince you that you have, you know, issues, mental issues, that you're not enough, that you're not, you know, anything special, especially when a lot of things are happening in your mind, you know, in your life, okay? And so I had quite a few seasons, the last, you know, during the time I was in Kenya, and when I went to St. John's, and then again when I went to Dieppe, I had those seasons, where even if I have time, and you can imagine Dieppe, I had time to sleep, especially you know, because I didn't have to do like a lot of duties. Although even when it's just you know, just you have to take care of yourself, make sure that you cook and all of that, but you know, so I was working at night at some point, and during the day I really couldn't find enough sleep, and when I could, I would be woken up by noise or something else, because it was shared accommodation, and so you know, coming here, I've had episodes where, or seasons where I could sleep, and sometimes I was very guilty, like I didn't know how to adjust back to, you know, that feeling of safety, so it's like my system was all alert. There's actually a word for that, I think in psychology, so so I was so on alert, and it's like I had to, you know, stay that way for you know, a certain period. And when those things pass, and then you find yourself that you're regulated, and you can wake up early, just to have a time with yourself and God, and you find that you're peaceful with everything, that you even look forward to that time of waking up. Like I used to wake up at 5, yeah, and thankfully it was around summer, and it's like things were settling down where I was working, like I've told before, and so I had that financial ease. I was doing what I wanted to do, and some things were not exactly all perfect, but we were trying to get there, trying to communicate with people you usually worry about, and just trying to ease up. Also, I stayed off social media at that point, and I realized that it was God guiding me. And because I actually, sometimes you think that when you're in social media, you get to learn, and expand your mind. But actually, my life was full without social media at that point. And I just wanted to disappear. I wanted to just be away until you see things are turning, changing. So that season was changing, and it's like God was bringing me both into consecration, as sometimes when God is bringing you into a thing, especially if he's the one battling for you, he may not tell you that this is what we are gonna do right now. Yeah, so you have to be stayed in his word to know, so as to be sharp. Yeah, and let me tell you, there will be seasons, I know a lot of Christians would negate this, but there will be season where it's like those days the Pharisees would ask Jesus, why are your disciples eating? Yeah, I think they were eating the heads of corn at some point. Why are they not fasting? And he said, it is because they are with the bridegroom. Yeah, when we're with the bridegroom, it's a time of celebration. Yeah, and they can eat and make merry. But when the bridegroom is gone, like when the wedding season is over, then that will change, and they will enter into fasting, because it was like a routine. Yeah, like it was routinely done as a religious activity. And I'm saying, I was giving that example to say that there will be times where God will be like, eat, drink, ease up, enjoy your life. Okay, but it's like the way young people are told, enjoy your life, but in all this, just know that you will answer to God. Okay, so you find that in that way, it is a season, but it is also a season where you must be cautious that you will do all these things. Yeah, you will enjoy, you will make merry, you will ease up, you will find freedom, but you must keep in mind that all these things should not lead you to sin. Okay, they should make you more aware and more conscious that there is a God in heaven that you must answer to. So you should be careful. Okay, so God will give you that time of rest, enjoyment. Yeah, feeling like you're in control, like you're in charge, like this is how life should be. But do not forget what you're called for, because if that is not like you cannot always enjoy. Seasons cannot always be the same, but in all seasons we are called to do a thing. Yeah, and that could be rest sometimes. Now sometimes those seasons could cross. Yeah, and for me, I knew my resting season was over this time, but and I had a hard time changing. Yeah, so I would find myself like sleeping, and I would tell myself it's okay. Yeah, and even my husband would be like, sleep, because a time is coming where you'll be so busy. But I felt like that season has changed. Yeah, and so I started working with my son. Like I would be even upset if somebody else drops him, because and that has to happen sometimes, because he also needs to drive himself and all. Yeah, so I would be so appreciative and wake up with him so that I can stay awake and do things that I used to do in the past. Yeah, and just get into that season, get into that get well into that season, get my system used to waking that early. Okay, but I found that I had a different kind of sleep. Okay, where I know I'm not it is not my season for sleep, I'm not peaceful about it, but I'm sleeping anyway. Okay, And so this thing that God does, you know, just the same way he sends us teachers, yeah, he would send someone he knows that I trust to say a certain thing about, you know, what I'm going through. Okay. So I realized that, you know, not all sleep is normal. Not all sleep is blessed. Yeah. There's a time that God is calling you. And I can only give the example of Samuel. You know how God was calling Samuel and he would wake up and go dutifully to Eli, yeah, and ask, did you call me? By the way, I'm at Walmart and people are going into work right now. So they do this to you know, organize, yeah, to stock and organize and all that, so that by the time they open at 6, the store looks good, yeah. People really work here. I really truly admire. Yeah, so someone would go to Eli and be like, did you call me? And he would say, no, go back to sleep. And the third time he realizes this guy is being called by God. He wasn't used to that voice, okay? And in some seasons, you'll be in so much slumber that you will know that something has changed, a switch has been made, yeah? But you really are not quite sure because you the season has changed, but the voice also changes, okay? And I must clarify that before you guys come for me. The voice changes in that how God is speaking in a certain season, or how he used to speak to you when you were younger spiritually. Yeah, when you're drinking milk, or just you know, when things are not as deep, right? I told you in this season, it's even hard to interpret some of my dreams. Yeah, I need to have help. And that happens when a season changes so drastically that you will need an authority, yeah, you know, a higher authority in these things to guide you, okay? So you will be guided, but you still also shouldn't stay as a child, okay? You have to grow up and also impress your parent, yeah, your spiritual parent. And I'm not saying this to say that it's okay to call people mom and dad and all that, but I'm saying it to show that there's always authority, okay? Authority that is given to you, so let's call them teachers, yeah, authority that is given to some people so that they can you know, tell you about the changes of the season, okay? And in this season, I realized as God was calling me, something also that he had let me learn is that you do not just go into prayer, okay? He must call you into prayer, okay? So when you go to his presence here, despite thanking him, you know, and just making it clear that yes, I have come, you know, you have to let him speak, okay? So even when you pray, even when you present yourself and say, you know, and give all the thanks, yeah, give make sure, you know, that you've made it clear I am here, you have also to listen and know what God is saying, okay? So that will be coupled with listening, both listening and just be quiet in his presence, but also reading scripture, okay? I don't know if you guys, especially people who are contested a lot, I don't know if you know that sometimes you will notice that it is even hard to read scripture, okay? It is even hard to pray, okay? And we have to come to the place where we are no longer fearing when these things happen. You don't always think that, and you may even be under attack, but you have to understand that the only reason why you're feeling it sometimes is because in the spiritual realm, the battle is fierce, okay? So you can arise and thank God, you know, just, you know, have a heart of worship, have a song that's going on. And that is why, you know, God wants us to always, not always, when he calls us into it, we must listen to worship music, you know, something that just, you know, bubbles from inside you. And again, I said, God installs things in us even when we are young. Would you be surprised if I told you that inside you, you're full of scripture that you learned even as a child, yeah? that you had in different places. Let me tell you, your ears are a gate. When you think of it that way, then you'll be very careful what you do, because everything in you, you know, is a gate. Your eyes are a gate, yeah? And so when God is calling you away from, you know, certain things, do not assume it's a joke. Everything is related. Everything is so serious, yeah? So when you're called, you know, away from sinning, away from doing certain things, because sometimes we live knowing and thinking that we are innocent, yeah, or we are actually innocent, but one small mistake can lead you into a lifetime of issues, yeah. And you know, as we talk of these things, we consider, you know, when you start doing certain things, especially if your family is affected by evil altars, yeah, you may be so innocent, man, you don't even understand how the world operates, yeah. You ideally need a chance to ease into that, to be taught slowly like a child, yeah. But you find that you're thrown into some things, and some things you'll think you're the one who made a decision, yeah. Like, let me tell you, when a child is even raped as a, you know, when they are young, they immediately feel defiled, okay, because demons have been introduced into their system. So even when they come of age, and even if that thing doesn't happen again, and they get, you know, innocently into fornication, they will do it because they feel impure, okay? They feel so dirty, like, you know, when they come into it, and because of all the issues surrounding their lives, because of the foundation, yeah, they will feel like this is what I have to give, yeah. And perhaps they haven't even in their lives been thinking like that, but when they come to that juncture, because we said there's a set time for things to happen, okay? So when they come to a point where they think they're in love, you know, or they meet somebody, because it could be that before they didn't have this person, but as they come into this, because they have no other knowledge than to know that if I have a boyfriend or if I have a girlfriend, this is what I must do, okay? This comes because you think, in this place, you think, you do not know, and that is why we are told to cast down any imagination, okay? So because you haven't been taught, because you have, you know, a wrong foundation, you think this is what I have to do to maintain this relationship, okay? And you will notice that as you come into that, a lot of things you hear, you know, this is okay. You're surrounded by friends who could have gone ahead of you in some things, especially sexual immorality, you know, so you think it's okay. You don't even know the much they know, so you don't even talk about, you know, how you should protect yourself, how you should say no. You do not know that you have the authority and you have a choice to make, yeah, because you already feel corrupted. The devil started, you know, coming after you as a child, so you feel corrupted, you feel sinful, you feel dirty, okay? And not even exactly dirty, you know, that you're not exactly dirty, but your spirit is, yeah. And if you could only understand that enough, if that was revealed to you, so that you can, you know, understand, you would know that you're not dirty as a person, yeah. You only just have to come into agreement with God, and you have the authority to give him permission to reign over your life, yeah. But you see yourself as an innocent person, and, you know, in a way, yeah, like you're innocent. You do not have the knowledge of, you know, these things, so you're innocent, yeah. And as you come in agreement with another person, you feel like because we have agreed to do this thing, it is our thing, yeah, it is our secret, until it no longer is. If like a child, you know, you make a girl pregnant, you know, or you make a man a father, at that point you both know that you're not ready, then it's no longer your secret, yeah, it is everybody's secret. Your parents now have to step up, because they were assuming, you know, they've done everything. They've given you the birds and bees talk, or they've suggested it, yeah. They've hinted at it. You know better. You seem to know. You seem to have, you know, clever friends. They left it to other people to handle that, yeah. Because again, we said it is very difficult to train your own children, yeah, to talk to them about certain things, yeah. And also, these parents sometimes do not have knowledge to understand that, you could be getting set up. If we were spiritually awake, we would know even when our children are being spiritually set up, okay? And so we would be able to wage a war. We have authority now. We have the power, love, and a sound mind. Yeah, so we know what we are seeing is what we are seeing. It's not something we are guessing. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, about change of season, and the fact that when seasons change, yeah, you must be alert. And when you're not, because again, you could be numbed, you could still be sleepy, or being put to sleep, because there's sleeping spells, okay? So that when you're in your sleeping era, you're enjoying it. And that is why you must enjoy your seasons, yeah? You're enjoying your season, you're happy about everything, but it is extended, and you can tell when it is extended, yeah, because a spell is cast on you so that you don't know what is going on. Again, we agreed, whatever is being done in the covens, God will reveal to you in dreams. You will know what is happening so that you may awake, okay? That is why we are told, when you dream, when you come into a dream that is warning you against something, you must arise and pray, because now you understand that you have authority. Is that helpful? So when seasons change, you must arise and change with them. You shouldn't be sleeping in a wakeful season, okay? You may need some rest at some point, but I'm saying all this to say that know your seasons, understand them, and understand what you must do in each year. And I think when you come to God, you must listen to the instructions of the season, okay? Yeah, so thank you so much for listening. I'm sure my face is not even, clean, but I hope this message reaches you. Yeah, so I'll charge for a bit more, and then I'll see you during the day, perhaps for a live, okay? God bless you, and see you then. Bye-bye.